Hi and welcome to Just Ask Chris. Today I'm going to be looking at the iPhone 15 Pro, and the question here is this a worthy upgrade over the iPhone 13 Pro? So let's find out, shall we? Now, the main reason I upgrade every 2 years is because I want to make sure that I have the latest tech. I like taking photos with my telephone. I want to make sure that I have the best camera possible. So that's the first thing we're going to have a look at, really, the camera on this. Now, if we have a look at the cameras, let's put them side by side. I've got the kind of black color for both of them. If we have a look at the cameras, the 15 Pro has slightly larger camera housing, slightly larger camera lenses, and then obviously has the bigger processor, the bigger chip in order to take the photos. So then it has 48 megapixels on the main camera versus the 12 megapixels here, which allows the 15 Pro to also have a 2x zoom without losing any quality. The first thing to note with this is that you can have a dedicated camera button on this telephone. This action button here on the side of the phone, it gives you the option to turn it or to activate the camera on it. So all you have to do is press the button and then camera started. Oh, there I am, see? And you can also press it again and that takes a photo. So that's the first thing which you'll see on this telephone versus the old one. Other than that, the lenses that we see on this, it's 3 big lenses. Of course, Apple always upgrades them from one year to another. They're roughly the same size. The whole enclosure is slightly bigger than last time, but they're roughly the same size. And of course, the sensor within this telephone is bigger. It's a 48 megapixel sensor instead of a 12 megapixel sensor. That gives us more options on the zoom range. You can zoom 2 times on this without losing any quality, whereas on the iPhone 13 Pro, if you zoomed in 2 times, you were losing quality because you were zooming in on that 12 megapixel sensor. So let's see, shall we, what the sensor, what kind of difference it makes. I think the main difference is going to be on telephoto. So I've taken 2 photos using telephoto on both, maximum zoom, so 15 times on both of them, and let's see which one actually looks better. Okay, I've taken the same photo on both telephones, and I'm going to put these as a side-by-side comparison so we can have a look at both of these in a sec. And at first glance they look very similar, but when you zoom into it, you'll notice that the detail on the iPhone 15 Pro is better than that on the iPhone 13 Pro. So let's have a look at the iPhone 13 Pro first. What you'll notice is that there's quite a bit of blurring on the brickwork, the number isn't very clean, and also when you look at the detail under the numbering, that's also not very clean. If we switch to the iPhone 15 Pro, you'll notice straight away that the colours are more natural, the detail on the number and on the pattern around the numbering is also much more detailed. So on a head-to-head comparison between the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 15 Pro at 15 times zoom, the iPhone 15 Pro is a marked improvement. So the nice thing with the new iOS, if I wanted to share the photo and I didn't have this person's contact details, I don't have to activate AirDrop. I can just choose AirDrop and then bring the phones together. It then links them, and I'm being asked here would I like to accept the photo. I just click accept, and the photo is then transferred from the phone on the left to the phone on the right without having to activate AirDrop for contacts. A lovely feature, I really like it, so I've used it a lot so far. Another big difference is, of course, the fact that the 15 Pro here on the left has the always on display. I've turned off the wallpaper part. I think it seems too much battery use, but I have kept the alerts and the clock on, and of course the 13 Pro does not have the always on display. The other thing I will say is the feel of the 15 Pro is quite different to that of the 13 Pro. The sides are rounded, it feels really nice in the hand, feels very refined as well. Let me just plot that down, and if I pick up the 13 Pro, they are rounded but a little bit sharper edges. This also, don't get me wrong, this also feels very good.
but it feels just a little bit nicer with the 15 Pro.
The other thing I really like about the iPhone 15 Pro, it comes with the 15 as well, it's the option to control how you charge your telephone a bit more. So if I go into the battery menu, then in the battery health and charging options, you have not only the option to charge optimized, but also to charge to an 80% limit. This is the one I use when I put the phone in the car, plug it into the car. I don't want it charging all the time up to 100%. So this allows me to really have that fine-grained options and say how I want the battery to be charged. So normally, plug it into the car so I can use Apple CarPlay, it would charge it fully. Now I can limit it to 80%, which I think is brilliant. So that for me is also another feature which the 15 Pro has, which a 13 Pro does not. So at the end of the day, am I happy with the 15 Pro now that I've had it for nearly 2 months compared to the 13 Pro? I would say the main differences are the camera. So you have more options on the zoom, and as you can see from the photos, it's better quality when you zoom it in as well. I really like that. That makes a difference to me. Also, I prefer the feel of this. The new titanium edges to it, the rounded edges. It's a really, really nice finish. And then the next part, of course, is Dynamic Island. I really like the fact that you have this extra screen space. Also, the screen fills to the edges a bit more, which makes the telephone then a little bit smaller. So it's a bit smaller than the previous one, so it fits better in the hand. Obviously, moving away from Lightning and getting to USB-C, I really like. I have a Mac as well, and that uses USB-C. I have other devices that use USB-C, so it allows for a single cable to be used instead of multiple cables. And then finally, I will say I'm getting used to the activity button on the side. It took me a little while to figure how to use it properly, but now I do. Picking up the telephone, I press that button, and then straight away it's in camera mode, and I don't have to go, searching in the menu or using it, pressing the button here in order to activate it instead. So, after nearly 2 months of use, am I happy with it versus the iPhone 13 Pro? It's tough. 13 Pro was very good, but this is better, and yes, I am happy with it. So it is, I think, if you like your photography, if you want to be able to get access the photo option quickly and have a slightly smaller phone at the same time, slightly lighter phone, then this is a good purchase. I hope the review was useful. If it is, please like and subscribe to the videos, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.